It's an easier name. But Kiama's a beautiful name. You know it means, of course I know, light of life. But most name meanings sound poetic when you look them up. Here. He takes his phone back out of his pocket and types something in. See, Yvonne means archer. I don't know what that is. He furrows his thick eyebrows and reads on. Listen. People with this name are dynamic, visionary, and versatile. Any truth in that? Then, despite the pink clothes, the tattoo, the hair, the nose piercing, Yvonne says, "My God, you're so much like your dad." Lucky me. Kiama puts his phone on the table and sits forward in his chair. His eyes seem a darker brown now than when he was a kid, but he's still never quite grown into them. Dad asked me if I'd found any photos of you online. Photos? Why? He shrugs. I don't know. Maybe he wanted to see what you looked like after all these years. You do look quite different, though, especially your hair. Her hair? She'd had it cut last week, but has worn it in this bob style for as long as she can remember. Funny, he says. I can't remember it being so ginger. It breaks the tension and makes her laugh. Sorry, he says. Is that rude? I didn't mean it. She rubs the back of her neck. I know I'm a redhead. He holds his palms up. I just remember it being lighter, that's all. It was. But I don't dye my hair anymore, except to get rid of all the grey. Kiama stares at her as he takes the lid off his drink. I like it, he says. The red. It suits you more than blonde. The way he looks at her, surveying and watching, it's too intense. Her tea is stone cold, unappetizing. She raises the cup, then puts it straight down. Your arms, she says. You really are covered, aren't you? He stretches them out across the table, and under a tangle of festival wristbands and beads, there are a mess of tattoos, feathers and roses, playing cards and Kanangawa waves. My best mate is training, so I'm sort of like his guinea pig. He's done all these in the last 6 months. A few of the crappier ones I had done when I was 16. That's surely not legal. Course not, but it's free. What did your Nana say when she saw them? She cried. I stopped showing them to her after a while. When I find a good portrait artist, I want one of her face right here. He slaps the left side of his chest. How is she? He looks away, and Yvonne knows what's coming. She passed away earlier this year. I'm so sorry, Kiama, I didn't know. Nah, you wouldn't have. He rolls his sleeves back down and adds 4 packets of sugar to his coffee. Noticing her watching, he says, I used to be mad into the energy drinks, but they were giving me heart palpitations, so I gave up. But you've got to replace it with something. It sounds logical. He smiles back at her, then his face changes. I'm glad you were up for meeting me. She takes a breath. She's not yet ready to hear the reasons he got in touch with her, why he wanted to meet in person and talk. How's your dad? Does he... She pauses, searching for how to frame the question. I don't even know what he does for work these days. I don't want to talk about Dad. Kiama leans forward again. He's staring at her, and she can feel his energy, his nervousness. This was a mistake. She should never have come. She should never have responded to his original message, but she couldn't ignore him. Obviously, I asked you here for a reason. I need to talk to you about something. Okay. He moves his coffee to the side of the table and fidgets with his bracelets, rolling them up and down. I'm going back to Kenya. It's not what she expected to hear from him. Though what did she expect? Why? He wraps an empty sugar packet around his thumb and purses his lips. I don't know, he says quickly. You don't know? No, I do know. He puts a hand over his face as if embarrassed. But I don't know how to say it. She waits for him to compose himself, to explain, but he stays hidden. Kiama? I'm not okay. He removes his hand and looks straight at her. I need to go back so I can deal with things properly. I can't...